Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Popcorn Chicken here. We're doing a spoiler-filled review of Fantastic Four, not so Fantastic Four, or Fantastic Four. We'll find out in a second here. We'll give our score at the end, which we did in our non-spoiler review. So it's going to be the same, unless Sheldon has a change of heart. I definitely do not. If I did, it'd probably be lower. We're going to talk about a lot of spoilers and Easter eggs from the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to be spoiled, maybe come back and check this video after you've seen the movie and give us your take in the comment section. If you have seen it, do you agree or disagree with some of the things we're going to talk about? Let us know in the comment section. And if you're new here, hit the like and subscribe button. We do a lot of cool things in pop culture world, including movies and TV shows throughout every month. And then also collectibles in our other live channel as well. So come hang out with us. Hit the like button if you love this video. If you don't love the show, then you can still hit the like button here. All right, man. Let's get into it. Okay, so the movie called Fantastic Four First Steps. It could be a reference to Baby Richards taking his first steps. It could be Galactus.
Right,
or that's not in the right direction. Stepping or Galactus stepping all over Manhattan in the right direction, right?
Is that
so?
Too?
Yeah. First step could be loosely, meant for various things in the movie. Let's talk about the very first part of the movie is when, we get to know the family, right? We get to know the characters. What are your thoughts about the overall look? I mean, they went for that 60s retro look, right?
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed what they did with this. They gave you that 60s vibe, but with that futuristic aspirations to it. But really, I think it was more so the Reed family that had the futuristic aspirations. Everybody else
it looks like he's got a lock hold on a lot of trademarks.
Yeah, because it seemed like everybody else was still living in a present
poverty
60s.
Everybody else lives in the slums.
I wasn't ready for that, but yeah, essentially. And these guys were living in like an ivory tower, literally.
Oh, okay. Tower. So are you saying they're snobs?
Maybe just a little bit. They could have shared their technology with the rest of the world. They really wanted to, but they decided not to.
Just a teensy bit.
Yes.
Maybe he's worried about the world taking it and doing the bad things with it.
Yeah, fair point. But I thought it was cool. I also liked how they had those like throwbacks of like the old school billboards with like 7-Up and like Pepsi and all those other little cool lads. There was a lot of product placement in there for sure. But it was a cool vibe for the city. It was really good. I thought it was really good world building.
It was directed by Matt Shakman, who I do not like. I don't know how much say he had in this. But I'm sure as a director, you probably do have a lot of say in the direction you want the movie to go.
One would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, the writers and Kevin Feige also probably have a big say in it too, right? A lot of directors have left Marvel because they don't get the say as much as they want to. And Kevin Feige shows them the door. So I don't know. But if he's responsible for this movie, dude, I don't like the direction you went. If the writers and Kevin Feige are responsible for this movie, I don't like the direction you guys went with this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where it feels like Kevin Feige is definitely like fallen off a little bit with his.
Oh yeah, he's had some bad years right now.
Yeah, yeah.
For all the success he's had some terrible years right now.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they just need to take a step back and chill for a little bit. I feel like we've said this before.
Well, we've said it so many times. I think what happened was he fell in that Disney woke trap. Where he's probably his executives, bosses in the boardrooms have probably told him he has to do certain things because they need to get certain tax write-offs. And we all know it's always about tax write-offs. Hollywood doesn't care about doing the moral thing.
No.
There's so many narcissists in Hollywood. Sorry, that's the way it is. There are good people in Hollywood too. I'm not going to say they're all bad, but I just feel that he felt in that pressure of have to deliver certain things and certain agendas he has to follow and get involved. And it's been disastrous. It's been terrible. Disney stock's been terrible. Their IPs have been terrible. They've lost billions of dollars because of this direction. So
Yeah.
all the tax money that they saved is useless because they've lost more than that in the decisions they made to change the landscape of MCU to fit the modern audience, so to speak.
Modern.
Yes, the modern. So anyways, back to this. So we have some good actors in here. I'm not gonna, we have Vanessa Kirby, the beautiful Vanessa Kirby. I said curvy, should be Kirby. Jeez, look at my mind going into directions. You must have called her Vanessa
Distractions
Kirby.
happen.
It's all good. Hey,
Distractions happen, man.
we have Julia Garner, who
Yeah.
I think is awesome actress. I just don't think the character she played in this movie was awesome. I absolutely hate the character that she played, but
Fair.
that's not her problem. She's getting a paycheck. She's doing her job. So
Absolutely.
no hate on her. We have Joseph Quinn. We have John Malkovich, who got cut from the movie.
Oh,
John Malkovich got cut. I want to bring it up because I like John Malkovich, but he got
who
cut.
was he supposed to play?
I can't remember the characters. Ghost, Red Ghost, I believe it is called.
Oh, interesting.
He got booted from the movie, so that sucks. We have Paul Walter, who plays Moleman.
Yes.
In there. We also have I always get his guy's not right name. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, who's also from the Bear. Bachrach.
Yeah.
Who's from the Bear, who's awesome. He plays Ben.
Did you hear what he said about the other Marvel characters?
No, what did he say?
He posted a tweet saying that the other Marvel characters like Nightcrawler's boring. He can teleport. He kind of shit on Channing Tatum's Gambit and just Gambit in general. What he's like, what does he do? Just throw cards full of energy? That's lame. And there was something else about another character. And Nightcrawler's thing was like, oh, so he can teleport in and out. That seems kind of annoying. I'm like, bro, you playing the Thing. You're basically Hulk, but a less liked version. Just shut
You're
up.
the Wish.com Hulk.
Yeah, man. I was like, bad taste, buddy. Don't try to promote your movie like this by putting down.
I hate when actors try to pretend they're nerds. I don't think he's a nerd because if he was a nerd, he would never ever say anything about Nightcrawler. What was the other one?
Gambit. Gambit was a big one,
bro. Gambit can harness energy. He doesn't need cards. Cards are just his outlet.
Yeah,
he can pretty much do that with any object.
He'd literally blow the thing apart if he wanted to. Like,
yeah, he can literally touch him, make him explode into pebbles, right? Right. So I don't know why he did that. And then a guy that needs no introduction, he's been in every movie so far. Literally in the theaters right now, he has 3 movies. Pedro Pascal, 3 movies.
Boring, just boring. No, I mean, he's good. It's just there's the Pedro fatigue.
It's getting there. It's getting there, man. It's getting to me like where I'm just like, I honestly think he's a good actor, but he's not the right choice for this character.
He's not for the lead. Well, it's also how they wrote this character.
This is what it comes down to. It's the director, the writer, and Kevin Feige making these decisions, and they just like, hey, who can we get that's like superstar stardom, and we'll throw him in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, why would you put a guy who's super busy in Hollywood, put him in as one of the lead characters going forward?
Right.
What if the guy says, I can't do your movie right now. I'm going to do 2 other movies. You're going to wait a year?
Delays are just going to happen.
And so I honestly think even with that, even him being a good actor, I honestly don't think he's a good fit. Reed Richards, when you look him in the comic books, he's a calculated genius and very cold sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has to make these right decisions. And he's also a family man. He loves his family. He loves his friends, his cousins, whoever the hell. He's a family guy as well.
And he knows kind of how to have fun, if I'm not wrong. Like
none of that exudes in this Pedro Pascal as his in acting as Richard. None of that exudes.
No, like when we're starting showing them off one by one, like Sue Storm being like a UN kind of leader person. The Thing, I don't even know what the hell the Thing does. He just kind of stays at home and has a cartoon.
He picks up Volkswagen Beetles
and shows it off to kids. When they showed Reed Richards teaching science to kids, it was the most boring shit I've ever seen. Bill Nye the Science Guy was more exciting than this.
why would a guy who's one of the smartest people in the MCU and Marvel want to go teach kids science in a lab?
I mean, I can kind of understand why, because he wants to like probably expand the minds of young people into science, but the shit he was teaching them was beyond their capability.
Yeah, let's teach nuclear reaction to kids because they're gonna get it. It was just they tried to make a fun like a fun little 5-minute collage of what they've been doing since they got their powers.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't care for it. There were some cool scenes, right? They showed
the Mole Man
cameo. Well, the Mole Man Giganto, the big guy.
Oh yeah. Right.
Giganto, if you don't know, that is literally out of the comic books. The very first issue of Fantastic Four had the Mole Man on the cover. I actually have the $0 worth NFT that I got back then when it was amazing and everyone thought it's going to make millions for you. But I have one of those NFTs of that comic book cover. It's worth less than $1 now.
Damn. How much did you buy it for?
I'm not going to disclose that.
The pain.
Anyways, the pain. Yes. They had another one. They had where they showed a comic book store, a comic book artist in the store, and it was called Timely Comics. If you blink, you're gonna miss it. That's a reference to Marvel being called Timely Comics originally.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then they also had two people in there, which was an homage to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Drawing.
Okay, I totally missed that.
And some of the pictures that they had that you could see were actual artists drawings of Kirby doing stuff work. They're from the vaults of Marvel.
Okay.
They were not just props. Cool. Yeah, there's some actual sketches there that Kirby did in real life that was brought onto the set to film. I wish they showed a little bit more of it, right? But the reason why they're doing that is because the characters have been around for 4 years now. They've got their powers for 4 years now. They're celebrities. They're the only superheroes that they know of on Earth. So everything's focused on them. And they've already been celebrities, so which means there are TV shows, there are merchandise, there are things about Fantastic Four already. And the comics, the comic writers were doing stories in that store, which is why they have them. And then it also leads to later on where when Ben is walking down streets and people are like, say the lines.
What time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
Chubby Italian guys like, say the line, say the line. Hey, say the line, huh? And
like, I don't say that in real life.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's reference to the comic books that they've made about them. So they're big celebrities. They even have an animation that they show, which is another Easter egg that they showed. That animation is actually the real animation from the 70s of Fantastic Four. Yeah. Okay. So there are positives in here where the Easter eggs are good Easter eggs. They're homages. They're respects to
hitting some nostalgia for some people.
Yeah, they hit hard on that. So I will give them points for that. The story also is about mainly, and wait for this, it's about Reed Richards and Stu Storm's kid. What's his kid's name? Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
Franklin Richards is the main reason the plot is around, where Galactus, the World Eater, is coming towards Earth. And when he gets here, he realizes that the baby is a cosmic baby.
It's basically God.
Yeah. Let's talk about, before we get into more of that, let's talk about the She-Surfer. I'm going to call her She-Surfer. I don't care. Let's talk about Johnny. Those two characters. Let's talk about Johnny first. Johnny's supposed to be a playboy kind of guy. We barely got that. And that this is Disney trying to be safe, Marvel trying to be safe.
Yes.
They're afraid what people will think if he's, hanging out with women, fraternizing with women. Oh my God, how dare Marvel do that? And I think that takes a lot away from that character. He's not a fun character. He's boring.
What they kind of alluded to was there were hints of him of them kind of saying like, oh, Johnny, you chasing girls again, blah blah. Just there was they tried to insinuate that they're
faking
a playboy, but in reality, Johnny just in this movie, the Johnny that we got just wanted a girl to be in a relationship with that got him and understood him. So he wasn't really playboy. He just, for some reason in this movie, there's a perceived notion that he is, but he really isn't.
No, they were just sort of like teasers and fake news about it because, like I said, they're afraid to go full on. Like you never see him going and fraternizing with females because they are afraid of doing that. So they give you little subtle, nonsense hints, which I think it was just kind of like, I don't care about this character. Like this character, Chris Evans, Human Torch, was way more fun.
Oh yeah,
way more fun and joking, and I loved it. But this was a dumb, watered down version. It looked like
a PG version.
A PG version. He's afraid of himself almost. Speaking of afraid of himself. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was gonna say he took himself a bit too seriously.
Yeah, I found it weird. During the movie, obviously he's got an affliction for the she surfer, which again, it felt so weak because what is he so attracted about her?
Not just weak, but it was a little creepy-ish because he doesn't even know her. And in our modern day and age, a lot of people, if a guy did that to a woman on the streets, they'd be like, "You're creepy, stay away from me. I got a boyfriend or a husband, leave me alone."
The other thing is she's a cosmic entity. Did he not see her go through lava and stuff? Like, she's not human, so I don't understand what the attraction is.
Well, he is.
What is he attracted to? And the CGI on the she surfer was terrible too.
Yes.
It looked weird. The eyebrows, the eyes, and all of it. It looked weird.
It was just bad.
And then why do you have to have lines about our long hair there? This is what happens when you try to mess and gender swap and do things like this and try to make yourself look special in front of the world. Hey, look at us. We put a woman in here. Look at that. We're doing diversity. We're doing all these amazing things. Look at us. That's not how you do diversity. You're being lazy.
They tried to give her detail when they really didn't need to.
They could have gave detail if they had another Herald. Nova could have done a lot of details, and people are like, oh, it's another fiery character. That would have been more appealing for Johnny to like another fiery character.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I 100% something that looks like me. Has a little fire. I'm attracted to the fire. There you go. It would have made more sense if you hit on somebody that had that ability.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Than her. And I just thought it was the decision to do that. It was such a BS decision. I'm personally upset about it. And people like, get over it. Don't worry about it. Well, if you really like a character and you've been waiting a while to get that character in the MCU, now you got to wait a bit longer because now MCU Marvel could say, we already gave you a surfer. We don't have to give you one for years from now.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, that's great. Now I'm going to wait about 3-4 years again now for another possibility of getting a surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if I'm going to get that because they already given us a female one. So why would they want to give us a male one?
Yeah.
Right. Arguably the most famous herald of all of them. They decide to not do that. The decision to do that is still boggles my mind. It made no sense. What made it worse? Sorry, I want to just add on to this. What made it worse was
go for it.
Her origin story is exactly the same as Norrin Rad's. There is no change.
Although, did you notice it wasn't her leaving behind Norrin? It was leaving behind a child.
It wasn't because they don't want to show you that. They don't want to show her married to somebody. She's a strong, independent woman. They have to show you that.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because Norrin left behind the love of his life to go sacrifice himself for his planet. So I was like, this is kind of fucked up. It's a little much that you don't even involve Norrin himself. Like,
that
to be fair, infuriated me.
To be fair, she's got a kid that she's leaving behind, but wouldn't have been much more emotional if she left her kid and her husband.
Yes, I 100%.
She left her family, not a member of her family. She left her family. It would have been more impactful if you wanted to go that route. You literally cut and pasted Norrin's story, but you left out the family aspect of it, right? In a movie where family is important.
And so that's where I really thought about this the other night, where maybe this is why they casted a female surfer, where in the first movie, in the 2000 early 2000s Fantastic Four, they related to the surfer about leaving a loved one behind and losing a loved one, right? And Norrin felt that when Jessica Alba's Sue Storm was like going away, and this is what was happening to their planet now, so they got a sacrifice, and that's why he ended up helping them and saving them. When it came to her, it was because of the child. I think they did it to get on that motherly instinct level, so there's a connection from parent to parent. Yeah.
Whatever what they were trying to do, I didn't feel any of it. There was the decision to make the movie. By the way, the movie's under 2 hours, which is Marvel's shortest movie ever. Decision to make that movie too short actually hurt this. I rarely say a movie's too short. I always say movies too long, because generally they are. There's things that you'd always cut out, but this movie, it hurt them by being a little too short. I think if they spent another 10 minutes on this movie, they could have flushed out the Silver Surfer or the She Surfer storyline out a little bit more, maybe a little bit more of Galactus's backstory.
Yeah.
Because Galactus says a huge line in there, right? And a lot of people are not going to understand anything of that. And I think that's a missed opportunity, because he says, I was once like you. When the team arrives at his ship, I was once like you. And I can't really say it in that voice, but the whole reason behind that was he was once a normal person or a normal being, right? Not cosmic. And his name was Galen of Ta. And he had to combine his power with the living entity. This is like Nerdville all the way
Okay.
through.
Oh, you deep dived. Okay.
No, I know the story because it's related to Silver Surfer a little bit. So I know a little bit, right? It's not like I know everything about that. So Galen of Ta combined or decide to join forces with the living entities because to save that universe.
Okay, got you. Okay.
To save that universe, right? So he made a deal to sort of save that universe, which is why he's Galactus. He's looking to retire from that, and Franklin, because he's cosmic, is supposed to be his next heir to the throne. Right? So there's a deeper story behind this, right? And I felt that should have been a little bit flushed out, maybe, if it's possible.
That would have been nice to know. Yeah. Because at this point, it was just him saying, "Oh, I'm just tired of eating all like every single day. So I want this kid to take my place."
Because there was not a lot of emphasis on why he's eating these planets.
No, there was not. It just made him sound like a fat ass. That was like, "I'm just gonna snack all day."
No one is always sitting around as a lazy boy.
He's got the liposuction tubes in the back.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Also, another Easter egg when they do go to space to meet him in the middle of the story. The ship that they take is called Excelsior, which is an Easter egg about Stan Lee's famous line, Excelsior.
Excelsior.
He always says that. So shout out to Stan Lee. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
The most influential person in comic book history, I think.
Absolutely. I agree.
The work he did, amazing. So it was nice to see a little bit of homage to that.
Nice.
And I hope we continue to see the Excelsior ship in the next movies.
Yeah.
Right? So
I kind of hope they just don't. It was like a one-off just to throw in there to garner attention. Because that would be really sad.
So basically, we're at the point where Galactus is in town. The Herald comes and tells, "Hey, listen, you've got say bye to your family, kiss them, enjoy your life here. We're coming back to eat the whole planet, and you're all going to be dead." Okay, so now they go to try to talk to him, which I thought it was weird. The guy's already going to come and eat your planet, right?
Yep.
If I'm Reed Richards, I'm going, okay, how do I get him to not eat our planet? By talking is not going to help, probably, but they decide to do the what's it called? The dialogue method.
Like, how are you going to negotiate with a cosmic being, dude?
He don't care.
He
don't care. Right? And you're a smart guy, Richard. Figure it out.
Yeah, you would think with all his intellect, a cosmic being that devours planets is going to want to negotiate with you. The boy is hungry. Let him eat.
Well, the plot has to move forward, right? So that's why they created the scene where they all go there, and Galactus notices something in her Sue's stomach and induces an earlier labor, right? because he feels the cosmic thing about it, which then now they're trying to get out of there because they realize that he's not negotiating with them and they want to get killed. The Silver Surfer there I found very weak. There was a scene where I think it was Ben that punched her into the wall or something like that.
Yes.
And Johnny, as great and strong as the Thing is and the Human Torch is, you're not even close to the level of a Surfer.
No,
you're not even close.
Like, realistically, she should have been able just to like move out of the way.
She just goes like this, boom, flick, and you're gone.
Or even
like
a little cosmic blast, you know? I was waiting for that stuff to kind of actually happen, and they did.
Nah, you're not gonna get into that because she's Surfer.
Lame.
She's Surfer. So I don't know. It still gets me angry about the whole situation. So, anyways, they jet us out of there. They go back to Earth. I believe it is. Is it Earth?
They have the baby in the ship.
Yeah.
A little weird.
The baby's born in international waters. Okay. Got no citizenship. ICE is gonna come get her.
He's a space baby.
Or him. So they basically try to get out of there, but they go to a wormhole nonsense.
Yeah.
They're surfers. None of that needed to be made.
No.
Completely waste of time. That time was wasted on more important things they could have done.
Yeah.
Surfer
they pulled an Interstellar. They pulled an and they did
the lasers were bending and stuff. Lasers were bending. People were bending. They got out of the black hole. What's with movies of black holes? Superman had it, and they got it too. Like, were they all talking
because Interstellar put black holes on the map, dude? That's why. And the way they did their camera angles of the ship too was it felt like a copy and paste, in my opinion. So that kind of threw me off. I was like, I've seen this movie before, and I cried. And like,
Murph.
I'm like, but this ain't it, dude. This ain't it.
They should have said surf. Why can't you hear me, sir? So anyway, they get back to Earth, and now they're all freaking out. So they go. This is the dumbest part of the movie. Okay, the absolute dumbest part of the movie that really made me hate this movie even more than She-Surfer. They get down to Earth. There's a meteor around them because they're obviously popular and they all want to know what's going on.
Right.
And Reed Richards steps to the podium and says he asked for a high price or something. He said something like he asked for a
price too high.
Price too high. Thank you. And we could not do it. And they're like, what was it? What was it? And he's like, our baby. And I'm like, dude, why are you letting the cat out of the bag?
Like that was dumb.
Are you an idiot?
That was the minute that happened. I was like, why would you even? You could have just said negotiations failed. He did not want to talk.
He's a bad guy. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
You could have said literally 99 million other things. But he goes and says that and immediately puts his family in danger. Immediately.
All the hate just happened. They're like, why didn't you? It's one person for a billion, dude. Like anybody.
7 billion people are less important than your baby.
Yes.
That's not even the point that got me mad. Do you think the world, all the leaders around the world, all the people around the world are going to just be okay with that? They're going to come for you.
Absolutely.
They're coming for you with military might.
Which I'm surprised they didn't. They could have, but they didn't.
They would have gave everything they had. They know that they have superpowers and they're really strong. But this is about their livelihood. Yeah. How many people around the world, and you know how politicians are. There's amazing people, right? Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
They're not narcissists, ego tripping people either. They would have come after them full force. And this movie just like, no, they're good.
Yeah.
What even made it worse was in the movie, there's a scene where Stu walks out with the baby in front of an angry crowd of mobsters.
Yeah.
And just says, yeah, it's okay. You know what? They're going to love me. My baby's not going to be in danger. And it's not like she walked out invisible. She walked out visible.
Which is crazy. What didn't make sense to me, if all these people, this is the other thing too, is not just her walking out, but all these people wanted them to give up the baby. Why didn't they just go after her and rip the baby out of her arms?
Because
You're
she
an
gave a
angry
compelling
mob.
speech there,
You're
Sheldon.
about to die.
She gave a Russell Crowe type of speech. Are you not entertained? Right? It's just such a dumb decision to make that. And a lot of people
Yeah.
are just like overlooking that, like, oh, it's amazing, so beautiful. She was so brave. No, she was very stupid. It's a dumb decision by Reed Richards and Stu Storm to put their family, their baby at risk, their whole livelihood at risk
Yep.
for no reason.
Yep. And you're telling me in that crowd of hundreds of thousands of people, not one of them is angry enough to throw a freaking can or something? I don't know.
As an audience watching this, I would have loved it if they lied, because we know as viewers that they're lying.
Yep.
And we're
That
like,
would have
oh,
given them
yeah.
some actual human characteristic, you know?
Yeah, of course, they
Especially-
want to protect their baby. Like, what parent wants to have their baby die or get taken away?
Yeah.
So what
But
would
maybe-
you do as a parent? You'd lie.
Now, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate on this,
Yeah.
because maybe the thought process behind this when they were filming this was, we're back in the 60s. It's an era of like people living truthfully and like in the forefront of things and being brave and, you know, strong and justice upheld. So maybe that's the angle that they were trying to play here, was if we're truthful up front and we tell them what's up, it'll be okay. And that's exactly the angle they played.
I don't know what you drank it for lunch, but it's still hitting you probably. I understand what you're trying to say, but it still doesn't make sense. Doesn't matter what era you're in. You want to, as a parent, your first thing is to protect your
Protect
kids.
your child. Absolutely. She
I'm
should
a
not have brought
parent.
him out.
I know you're not a parent, so I understand. But you have animals in your house,
Yeah.
and they're like kids, right? I'm a parent, and I would never try to put my kids in harm's way. I would lie through my teeth to protect my kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's fair, man.
Because at the end of the day, it's not actually lying, it's actually love, because you care about your family.
Yeah.
And the decision and being the smartest person on earth, Reed Richards, I thought it was such a dumb, calculated move on his part, or non-calculated move on his part, to put his kid and his family in harm's way. For what?
Yeah.
What were you going to gain from that? You think the people in the world are going to be okay with that? And the next thing you see people throwing stuff at their and parading by their apartment, and you're like, well, duh, you brought this on to yourself.
You pissed them off for no reason.
And then you double down on stupidity and have her go out and give a speech in front of like 100 angry people, and you're telling me all 100 people are going to be okay with that? When was there a rally or a riot where everybody calmed down and walked away and said, you know what, you're right, I'm no
trust
longer
you.
angry,
Yeah.
I'm happy now, and I'm going to leave? It's a dumb writing, and a lot of people are just not seeing it. I'm just like, what are you guys watching?
Yeah.
Right? What are you guys watching? Anyway, so they lie. Now they're trying to figure it out, and Regis gonna go back and figure it out. So they're like, hey, what if we move the Earth? Like, oh my god. Oh,
Okay.
So Reed's, I don't know. And here's the thing: time is kind of lost here. We don't get to know exactly when Galactus is coming. He's just coming, so we don't know.
Yeah.
They just give us random time, right?
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's gonna be like months, and then it turned into like days all of a sudden. We're just like, okay. That
We don't know
fast.
if it's months, because just because you put a little thing in the bottom there doesn't really help the flow of the story.
Right.
You need to make it look like it's been months. So one of the things they try to do is have Ben have a beard.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, what happened to him shaving? They're like, well, we wanted to make this out to make it look like it's been a while.
I didn't even think the thing could grow a beard, to be honest.
Well, I mean, in comics, apparently he can. And in the comics, you can do anything. They just change the story a million times. Whether it works in
Fair.
the MCU is another story.
Right.
Which a lot of times it happened, and people are like, well, it happened in the comics. I'm like, yeah, just because it happened in the comics, which there's a million writers with their own egos, doesn't mean it's a good fit for the overall main story.
Not just that, but a lot of Marvel movies have been tended. They have they have done is they've grounded their movies in reality, and so if you're trying to make it go back to this comic book era and try to be fun with it, it becomes a little unrealistic, and you kind of throw your audience off by doing that.
Yeah. There was one Easter egg that I forgot to mention. When the baby was announced to the world that they're having baby, there is a bookie, Yancey Street bookies they're called in the story, and if you listen carefully, I picked it up. If you listen carefully, there is a little hint about the comic version of their family. They're like, is it going to be a boy or is it going to be a girl? What's the other? And then somebody says, oh, would it be a twins?
Twins, right? I remember that one.
In the comics, you have Franklin's sister, Valeria, in there, who is not as powerful as Franklin, because Franklin has that cosmic powers. And if you're wondering how Franklin got his cosmic powers in the comics, Reed steals. I cannot remember who it was. He steals a power from one of the characters, and is basically injected into the fetus, I believe. And that's how Franklin has has the cosmic power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like he was a naturally born. I'm sure they probably changed the story,
right?
But it's been a while.
Gene modification is not allowed in the movies.
By the way, they haven't said mutant yet.
Nope, they have not.
I think they're waiting for X-Men to say that. I think they are waiting for that, which is going to be really interesting. So is Franklin a mutant or not? We don't know. So we'll find out. But that's
100%.
So yeah, so Valeria is the sister, which I don't know if they're going to bring her into the MCU. Maybe down the road they might.
Yeah, because I know in the comics a little bit that there's an adult Franklin Richard, but there's no mention of an adult sister. But in a different universe, there is. He did meet the brother and the sister.
I come from the books of reading where there's both of them together as twins.
Got you. Okay.
I have the actual figures of both of them together. So
got you.
But Franklin is one of the most powerful MCU characters, period. He has the ability to create a universe.
I remember something about this where, like, didn't he create his own pocket universe of his own version of MCU?
We're going to talk about a little bit about what that means going down the road for the MCU, because he is going to be very integral to the overall MCU stories after Secret Wars.
Right.
Like, he's going to be very much entangled in there. Let's put it this way. There's going to be a lot of people interested in him and trying to pull him away, and which is one of the main things that we're going to talk about at the end with the end credit scenes.
Yeah,
to benefit from his abilities.
Yeah,
to manipulate him.
This was I remember watching like the all of the movies and watching some YouTube reviews, and the biggest question came to be was, how would Marvel ever handle godlike beings in the movies? Because there's, with where they're at right now, it's impossible. You just can't have it wouldn't make for an interesting story just to have like a hero that's at a godlike level to just snap somebody away or swipe somebody away, right? But now it seems like they're a little bit more, they're not as afraid to do it, starting with the Thunderbolt series with the Sentry and the Void. The Void basically can just like shadow people out and be done with it. And now we're getting Franklin Richards, who is a god being, and they have no problems doing this now, which is interesting that we're moving into this territory.
It kind of makes a lot of characters irrelevant too, because if they're so powerful, well, what the hell is the people who have no powers going to do?
What's Captain America going to do? Shit. Spider-Man ain't doing
forget
shit.
Captain America. What about the Black Widow, Yelena?
Or Hawkeye?
They're useless.
They ain't going to do shit against them.
Well, they throw a stick at them?
Yeah.
This is the problem you run into when you have god tier level power characters to your street fights.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Thunderbolts is a complete waste of time, in my opinion. They're trying to use them. They're trying to bring in the anti-hero love that Suicide Squad 2 had.
Right.
They're trying to make them their version, and it's pointless. Completely pointless. In my opinion, that movie was great in its own universe, probably, and leave it at that. Them being in the new movies going forward is completely useless.
Mm-hmm.
Completely useless.
I don't know how often they're going to use the Sentry, like, because they can't. And they explain that in the movie, because the more he uses his power, the more the Void comes out. So they're just gonna feature him as a
They
regular.
they cornered themselves. They cornered themselves with that character.
Yeah, I don't see how they're gonna utilize him going forward unless it comes to like major threats, like if we get World War Hulk or some shit like that.
But I mean, it's just gonna be the Sentry. What the hell's the rest of the crew gonna do? What's Bucky gonna do with this mechanical arm?
He's gonna direct things like Captain America did, and then stand in the back. That's what he's gonna do.
When we had the Avengers, the very first Avengers movies, we had god level powers, but they were not prominent in the movie.
No,
we had Loki, who was a god, but not like tier top end level, and we had Thor to kind of equal and balance that out.
Yes,
right. And then you had henchmen, which the rest of the cast were able to fight and beat.
Yeah.
Are these guys going to just replace the Avengers and be henchmen that's going to fight? Boring. Let's try something different, right? Going back to the movie, we have reached finally. So Richard can't figure out how to move the planet, which is so dumb because our planet, if anybody knows the way science is made up, our planet is a very, very fragile planet. It's at the right place, in the right system, in the right protection of a lot of things around it. If one change happens to our planet, we could be dead the next day, because I'll give you an example. There's an asteroid belt that's right between Jupiter and Earth.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're not coming and killing us, all of us, is because Jupiter's gravity pulls a lot of it towards them and keeps them sustained. So Jupiter protects Earth from getting destroyed by asteroids. Every once in a while, one will sneak through, but that's one every 1,000 years.
Something like that,
A big one. Tiny ones will, what are they going to do? Make a dent in your car. There's been a couple big ones, but if you look at the size of these asteroids out there, they're massive. And if it wasn't for Jupiter's gravity pull, we'd be dead already. We'd be bombarded like the moon.
You're using logic. Real life.
I know. I'm using logic,
but we are in a comic book fantasy land.
I understand. But when we have a character like Richards who's so smart, that should be the last thing he should be thinking of, moving a planet out of its position that it's fixated in a good spot. But because trying to find another spot to put it in is not easy.
No, but he's done the calculations, Elvin. He figured it all out.
All right, I'll give him the benefit. He's done the. I'll give him the benefit. He's done the calculations. Reach is a genius. All right, so
but
Stu
he's
says
not confident with his calculations.
So Stu says, "Yeah, you're dumb." Stu says, "You're dumb," and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right." That's another thing. Thanks for bringing that up. He's so indecisive and worried about his feelings. I feel like half the movie he's always worried about his feelings and what's he gonna say.
Yeah,
that's right up Pedro Pascal's MO.
It felt like he was playing himself a little bit.
I'm smart.
You know? Anxiety.
I'm not confident. I have anxiety. And I'm not trying to make fun of people that do have that. I take that seriously. But I'm saying in this movie, when you're playing a character that doesn't have any of that, makes no sense.
Yeah.
And that's because of poor understanding of the source material.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I get mad at the director and the writers, because they didn't really look this through and say, you know what, let's get somebody else that plays a part, because this character is not this actor's fit.
Do you think maybe they were just too afraid that they'd make him too much like Tony Stark? And if that's the case, then they're dumb.
But Tony Stark's a playboy. Reed is married and has got a family.
Reed is married, but a confident style married, you know?
You can have confidence. You don't have to exude playboy or
a dick.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can have confidence. I mean, the fact that he's always contradicting or looking at others and seeing, for validation in this movie is terrible. It's not Richards.
That's not the leadership quality you want either.
Richards makes a decision, gives the facts, and makes it happen. Look, I did the calculations. I am not wrong. You guys have to trust me. We're going to get this done. That's all the lines you need to say as Richards. That's it. And who are they going to argue against him? No one can argue against him. He is the most brilliant man in that team and in that universe.
Yep.
So I don't understand that. It frustrated me to see that. So instead of moving Earth, they decide they're going to have a portal that they could push Galactus through and send him off to the other side of the universe. Yep. Okay, that's a little bit more believable.
Now, hold on. Before we get further than that, these dumbasses decided to put these devices around the world.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Okay. Which, okay, they had kind of a plan about putting these things on. We got to save power. But then they were like, as soon as things were about to happen, one gets destroyed, another gets destroyed. And they were like, what's happening? I'm sorry, did you forget about the Herald of Galactus? Are you idiots that dumb that you forgot to protect your teleportation devices from the Silver Surfer? Did you know you didn't have a contingency for her?
Why is this okay? So here's the other thing. Why was it such a bad? It was such a bad plan because why did you make it so invulnerable that if one of the devices go down, then the whole plot is ruined? You could have had backups, like you just said, so that she goes and destroys 4 or 5 of them. It's okay. We've got them around the world. It doesn't matter.
I'll give them that. Maybe they were pressed for time because they said they only have so much time, right? But you're not going to put anybody there to protect them. Where's they not
Johnny?
Realize?
Where's Johnny?
Right? She came ahead of Galactus to warn you that he is coming. And then she also zipped right back to him. She's faster than the speed of light, man. That's what ruined that part of the movie for me. I was like, you are that stupid. You accounted for all these things, but you didn't account for her. The sheer
cosmic level being.
It was just sheer stupidity.
It's okay. She won't notice. Okay.
Yeah.
She won't notice. We'll just call it the Eiffel Tower 2.0. She won't notice. So, anyways, that goes to crap. So they decide to Franklin bait Galactus.
Yeah, which was surprising that they all agreed to that. I mean, not all of them agreed to that.
After they lied about after they protected Franklin from the world, they're now easily able to just put him as bait. Of course, they have a plan, which is the bait and switch plan, but it kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park when the goat's out there in the rain, right? And they're like, what could go wrong? It's fine. Don't worry. He's going to eat the goat and we'll be fine. He'll be happy.
Oh, shit.
Right? And so I'm like, okay, so first of all, you lied to the world. Oh, sorry, you didn't lie to the world. You protected this baby and you didn't want any harm to come to this baby. So you did that. But now you're okay with just leaving that baby sitting in the middle of Times Square and hoping your technology against a galactic type of being will be good enough. Mind you, these guys know barely anything about Galactus and his abilities, but they are very confident this is going to work because if it doesn't work, he gets your baby and you're screwed anyways.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a terrible decision. It negates everything they did. It negates everything they did to the world and saying, no, he's not up for sale. And they're like, you know what? Let's put him up for sale. And we'll see.
So this is the theme of this movie with the baby. It really rubbed me the wrong way. Because what we get
you hate in babies? Come on, Sheldon. Don't hate babies.
No, I love babies. Babies are adorable, man. Except for when they throw up on me. You know, that's a whole different thing. But right from the get-go, when they find out that they're pregnant, he wasn't excited. He wasn't jumping for joy. And they even said that they've been trying for 2-3 years. Why wouldn't you be ecstatic about, holy shit, we're finally pregnant? We did it? Like,
well, okay, so let me tell you, not from my personal experience, I was elated both times I found out I'm having kids. I know some people who sit down and have a moment because it's a reality check for them. Like, oh, I'm going to be a dad. Oh, it comes down as personality, but again, when we go back to who Reed Richards is, I don't know why he's so concerned. He can do anything he wants to take care of his baby in terms of nurseries, but he can't build a bed. Oh, for some reason. It was kind of dumb that he can't build a nursery bed. They try to make funny, quirky jokes, and I'm like, this doesn't land. It's stupid. This guy builds ships and portals. He can build a bed, a crib. I don't know. It's just dumb.
Now my other gripe though was he was also concerned that the baby might be different, that it wouldn't be normal. I mean, guys, look at you first of all. I would be like the chances of it being a normal child is probably very highly unlikely. You'd have to consider that. It's
But
not.
what's the reason?
That's the other thing. They never explained why he was so concerned about this. And this was before the Galactus thing came and was like, yeah, your baby's basically God and I want him to replace him. There was no reason.
I mean, he was in a room and then he's like, I think the baby might be different. And Ben walks out sweaty. Okay, then I know what happened. I mean, because she just walks into like she goes into his room invisible all the time, right?
Fair, yes.
Right. So come on,
yeah. It was just it was weird vibes, man. It's almost like I don't know, like he didn't really want this baby to be a thing,
dude. Like you said, it's Pedro Pascal playing himself. That's what it was.
It was just it rubbed me the wrong way, man. I'm like, you should be excited that you finally have a child after trying for 2 years, and then you decided to give up, and now you're worried that this baby might end up being a freak of some sort. Like, just be happy that you have a kid coming, man. I don't get it. And then you easily just like they had that part where he was like, oh, the logical thing would be to give the baby, and Sue Storm was like, you're not giving up our child. This is how you always think, blah, blah, blah. And then they willingly accept, oh, yeah, we can use the kid as bait. It's the only thing that makes sense.
So let's talk about the final act of the movie where we have this giant fight, Galactus. They're trying to lure him into this bait area. You have Johnny on the backs of the thing, and he's like, say it, Ben. Say it, Ben. It's a clobbering time. Oh, and then he rolls and hits Galactus, and Galactus is like, what the hell was that? Anyways, and then he flicks the thing into space, which I just saw was like, oh god, it's so cringe.
That's their comedic relief.
Yeah, it's like wah wah wah, and then here's the part that I found dumb. Here's another thing that the writers and the director didn't know either. Somebody didn't do their research. Galactus is stretching Mr. Fantastic, and he gets about 50 feet, and Reed Richards like, oh. I'm gonna die soon. I'm gonna die, and I'm like, why? You have the ability. So Reed Richards' character has the ability to stretch 1,500 feet long.
Wow,
1,500 feet it can stretch.
Wow. Okay.
That should not be a problem there. He should have been coiling around his arms.
Yeah. You know, I thought that was kind of weird because they showed those scenes of like his clothes starting to stretch. I'm like, doesn't his suit stretch with him? Why is it tearing?
It's the same thing with Johnny when he turns into Human Torch. The suit is able to handle it.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't come landing down naked.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. And I was just like, this is weird that the suit is tearing, but I'm also like, he should be okay. Like I didn't know about the 1,500 feet thing. I just figured he could stretch for as long as he had wanted to, you know?
He has limitations, which is 1,500, which is a lot. And that was not 1,500. That was more like 50. And it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's a pain attention to detail is what it is. They're lazy. They don't do their work. They don't fact check. They don't even ask probably somebody who's a comic book advisor probably on their panel. Like, hey, is this good? Or we gonna have to think of another way to kind of make him sort of in pain?
Because guaranteed in some next movie, there's gonna be some silly scene where like half of him is like across the Atlantic or something like that. Guaranteed.
The other thing is they really reduced his abilities because not reduce his ability, but you barely got to see Mr. Fantastic do his thing.
It wasn't creative.
It was very minimal, and you only saw most of it towards the latter part of the movie, towards the end.
Yeah,
you didn't see a whole lot. Like it was,
but
very,
even then,
very
it wasn't that much.
No, it was very dumbed down.
Yeah, like
really muted.
He didn't have an imagination as to how to use his powers. It was a little off-putting.
Yeah, I was expecting him to kind of coil, time to like stretch out and make a curve, so when the punch goes through, it goes around him, or he goes around the punch or the object. I really didn't see a whole lot of flexibility from that character, which was disappointing, right? What we did get to see is Sue Stormby OP and superpower, where she's able to push
Galactus back. Yeah.
Galactus all the way through. Now, our friend D did tell me that she's able to do these things in certain comic books. She's able to move cities in certain comic books. But here's my thing though. Okay, if she's able to do that, then what is the point of the rest of the team then? Why do they even bother going? They should just told her to just do this. What was the point of Johnny flying in the air and throwing the thing off into landing there? Why? They should just held a red, like a flag, like Toro, come over here, and then she ambushes and pushes him in there. That plan would have been much better.
Yeah.
Her being that powerful, like the MCU always changes the powers of level powers. They try to make their characters dumbed down a little bit so it's not overpowering. They did, for some reason, they like, no, let's amp it up more with her. Let's not just show invisibility, let's show more. I got no problems with that, but then I just see the other three kind of pointless in this battle, this particular battle.
There's no consistency.
Well, it's just like, why do I need these guys? We just get her to do this.
Right.
She could have been the bait with the baby. Just stand there in the middle and just push him away. Anyways, it turns out that it was girl power at the end too, as well, because you needed the she-surfer to come in the two. So it was all about the girls. It's all about the ladies, right? Coming at the end to save the day. I personally,
Johnny was about to sacrifice himself, and he was all ready to do his thing, and I was like, oh. When that moment happened, I was like, they're already killing off a Fantastic Four member? I'm like, this is wild, dude. Okay. But then, it happened. She pushed him out of the way as he was about to hit and took over.
I knew from the beginning, like before I even watched this movie, I knew that they're going to do that, where she's going to sacrifice her, because they have to give this character an ending, sort of. Yeah. Because they know that this is not the surfer that everybody wants. If you ask 100 people around the comic book world, majority of them will say, we want the original Silver Surfer, not this.
Right.
We understand she had a hot 5 minutes in comic book history. Who gives a crap? 5 minutes. Nobody cares.
No one cared.
There are other heralds that have been longer in comics, right? Yep. Including the ones that one we already mentioned. But so she sacrifices herself with this guy. Apparently they're not dead. So they're not dead. They're in another part of the universe. Because remember, they didn't die. They just got moved to another place.
Right.
So is she coming back now for the next iteration? You bet you. You think they're going to get rid of Galactus that easily? He's coming back. She's coming back, which is why I think it is pointless to have. You're not going to get the surfer, Norman Rad. You're not going to get him for a while.
Yeah. Which is sad.
Which is disheartening. And you're supposed to just go with it, right? And if you don't, then you're a bigot. You're a sexist, which is just so ridiculous. Yeah. So that's how the movie ends. They get sucked off into another universe. Fantastic, get it?
Yeah.
And people like this. People are clapping. This is a good movie, and I'm like, were you even watching the same movie as me?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right? I said, I went in with like basically the lowest of low expectations, and I found it okay. It was an okay movie. It wasn't great though, and there was a lot of stuff that was definitely wrong with it, man.
Yeah. Some people are saying this is better than Superman.
That's like, bullshit.
I'm like, oh, okay. I know Superman is not fantastic. I never said that. You saw my rating. I never thought it was a fantastic movie, but I sure didn't think it was worse than Fantastic Four. No way.
No.
Superman was
100%.
Superman is better than Fantastic Four.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agreed. Way better than Fantastic Four.
I don't know. Like going forward now, we saw the end credit scene. So the end credit first one, the second one was just some animation, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It had no bearings on the actual going events, but the end credit has Doctor Doom. reaching down to or crouching down to Franklin, and Franklin's touching him. Maybe he's healing his face, right? Healing his
Could be a
face
possibility. Yeah.
because he's got his mask off.
Yeah.
And is that Robert Downey Jr.? We don't know. We have no idea. We did see Latveria during the UN Council when Stu was there.
And
There's an
nobody
empty
was there.
seat there. Empty seat. People are like, well, why didn't he show up? Because the director said that if we had Doctor Doom in the movie, it would take away from everything else. He deserves more. Fair enough. He does deserve more because he's one of the greatest villains or anti-villain, if you depend on which comic line you read. He is one of the most polarizing character in Marvel.
He's one of your favorite villains, right?
You better believe it. He's up there. Like, he is right up there. I've got multiple Doctor Doom figures, and I'm very happy I got them. So, yeah, no, I'm excited to see it. I don't know why they casted Robert Downey Jr. Hopefully he dies and we get his proper Doom, because they put like muscle armor on him. Fake muscles on. I saw the picture.
I heard. Well, that's also because he went on like a super vegan diet, right? Like, he's like straight vegan now, so he lost a lot of muscle mass. Which is, I mean, he's also pretty old now. Like, there's no way he can work out. I mean, he probably doesn't want to work out that much to get the muscle. So a muscle suit kind of makes sense.
It was a call for desperation when they needed him back, because they're like, they panicked. MCU panicked. What do we do? We're losing tons of money here. Let's bring him back. Right? Let's bring him back, which made it even worse because then now his death was meaningless because we got him back. Spoilers if you haven't seen Endgame. But yeah, I gave a score a 6 out of 10, I believe, for this, and I'm sticking with that. What was your score?
It was 6.5. It was 6.5, which
so
I'm
right
sticking with.
Yeah, you're right there with me on that anyways. Yeah. It's not much of a change. But yeah, I mean, to each their own. We personally didn't like that movie. We explained why we didn't like it. But if you like the movie, I want to know why you like the movie, because I want to see the crazies. So get out there in the comment section, right?
Yep.
Give me your reasons, right? Don't say I like it.
Tell me why.
Don't say I like it and then end it off. Give me your reasons. Yeah. A couple of reasons if you can. If you didn't like this movie, fantastic. Let us know. I keep saying fantastic, and it's not a pun, I swear. Go ahead, tell us. Give us your score out of 10 as well, because I would love to get you guys a score out of 10. But absolutely. Yeah, we're out of here. We spent an hour talking about this movie. We dissected a lot of things. I'm sure there'll be more things we could talk about on our show, which is on Sundays all the time. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Then you'll be notified every time we go live, and we can talk about all things in Hollywood then.